you've been, I think, the greatest ambassador of the sport we have ever had. I think no one has traveled more, no one has done more seminars, no one has been to more countries as an arm wrestler promoting sport. So, like, how do you do it? Because I met you yesterday in the airport. I'm like, your internal clock must be messed up.
Yeah, it's weird how kind of one thing kind of leads to another, It started off just me being open to the idea of doing it in the first place. I mean, years ago, I started to do seminars. Years and years ago. And then arm wrestling kind of grew, and everything kind of fell into, my life I retired. So I have a lot of time. I don't work at a regular job where I need to. So
from 9 to 5 or something.
Yeah, so I have the opportunity to travel if I want. And there's just a lot of opportunity right now. There's a lot of people holding events that I can help with promotion-wise, draw attention to, kind of fast track a lot of people. It's weird, like if somebody wants to do their homework on the internet, I mean, there's so many great channels. Like if somebody just watches your stuff, somebody watches, organizes a playlist and watches all the technical things that are out there on arm wrestling on YouTube, you don't need to go to a seminar.
We have few guys that come in and they never arm wrestle.
Yeah.
They know stuff.
They know, right.
Like posting and.
But it's different. Like when you actually get to grip up with somebody, feel them. I want to, like, I have a vision of where I would love to get to. I love to be home. I love to be with my family. But there's another part of me that loves to be like really nomadic. And I'm trying to set some things up that may affect the culture of arm wrestling on a very deep level. Like, I'm trying to create something which will make what I do make even more sense. I'm trying to create something where you can basically just travel, compete. I find that I get a lot out of it as well. Like when I go to all these different places, people do train differently. They do have different ideas. They have different gifts. And if I can just start to understand a little bit of it, go home, digest, absorb these things, it does make me a better arm wrestler. And I think a better person to try and understand everything that's going on in the world. Yeah.
So, but like you said, when you're home, you're home.
Yeah. When I'm home, I'm mostly just spending time with my family, train. Yeah, easy days.
Like, we have a lot of arm wrestlers, we have a lot of people in the sport, but there's no Devon Larratt. like professional wrestlers has this it factor. Do you know what's your it factor? Because people are drawn to you, There's I know a lot of people, like, it's silly, but I have been to physiotherapists, and when I say, like, yeah, I'm arm wrestler federation, well, do you know Devon Larratt?
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with luck. I think that a lot of it, I was at the right place at the right time, and fate kind of exposed me. I think that this is a big part of it. I started arm wrestling at a time when nobody was really doing it. I mean, I don't want to say nobody was doing it. A lot of people were doing it, but not like now.
Yeah.
Not like now. And I spent, there was a lot of factors that let me invest heavily into it when it didn't really make sense for me to do so. I had a job that gave me a lot of time where I could physically develop. I think that one of the things that people are drawn to is the story aspect and the emotional aspect that I try and bring into our sport. I know that, like, I know when I watch other sports, I do enjoy sports. I enjoy basketball. I enjoy soccer. You name a sport, I'll enjoy it. But if there's something more, like if there's a story or an emotional investment into some part of it,
it's better.
Yeah, it's better. So I think that that's something that I've really tried to develop in the sport. When I compete, I'll try to tell that to people, and I'll try and explain the meaning of it to people, both from my own perspective and the relation between the two people when they fight. Yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah, it's just I know that even before Juji, even before Black people, all that people knew you. When we were Dennis and your matchup, people came from Latvia that don't know arm wrestling. We just we're here Latvian. I'm like, who are these people? Never knew them, and they came to watch it.
And I got killed. Oh no! It's amazing. I'm so glad that. Whatever. I'm in this place where I get to talk to people, and I get to show them. Look, I love arm wrestling. You love arm wrestling. I think that it's such a simple thing, but it can do so many great things for people. And I mean, if I have any power in this world, I think that it's my responsibility to teach people what it can do for their lives.
That's awesome.
Yeah.